Live. Talk to Nick. Welcome to the Dog Show podcast. We didn't even realize we'd gotten started. How exciting is that? Roger, how you doing today?
I'm doing good, Andy. I'm doing good. Feeling good. How about yourself?
I'm feeling great. Feels like we've been, 2 months since we did our last episode.
Yeah, it feels like it, doesn't it? Like we had a bye week.
Does kind of feel like a bye week. A lot has happened since that.
It has.
The last game. Well, I'm going to try and finish this beer since I didn't do a very good job.
We found out that we have a lot of doctors and shoulder experts on Twitter. Number one, I dropped my medical insurance, and I'm just going to go directly to Twitter to find if I have an ailment. There's some pretty sharp people on there that know a lot about shoulders and things.
Yes, there are. And, I have so much I want to say about that, but we're going to save it. Because right now, I just want to ask you, how much fun did you have watching that game against the Minnesota Vikings?
Well, I kept waiting for something to happen because everybody had to score at 37-31, 42-38. And I kept waiting for that to happen. And it's rare that you see a 14-7 game. And but again, this week, it was at no point that I think we were going to lose that football game. Even as the way it was going and the way Baker was going. So, I watched it with my sons and everything. But what really interested me and what I was paying close attention to was your trip to Minnesota. How did that go?
Well, first of all, you made a very interesting point. Nobody thought that game was going to be a low-scoring game except this guy, because I actually had a couple $100 on the under of that game. And one of the things I hate about betting an under is, I don't know, like it's so fast that like 21 points can be scored and it kills all your action. But this was like the safest under bet I think I've ever had. There was never a point I didn't think we were going to win it. It was awesome. Actually, no, that's not true. When Minnesota just immediately goes down the field and scores, I'm like, oh, here we go. But then it very quickly became apparent neither team was going to be able to do much. And, it was so much fun. So I was there, me and my buddies. We actually were sitting in a stand, I'd say, with maybe 20 other Browns fans, and we were just reaching over 4 or 5 rows of people to high five over a bunch of Vikings fans. They were not too happy about it, but they're very friendly. They're almost like Canadian there. I don't know if you've ever been. So they just kind of like, actually, good, go Browns. So we had fun.
Awesome.
And this was amazing. I was in the bathroom line. And it was a long line. So, of course, there's a beer vendor. I'm like, gonna get a beer, right? So I'm getting a beer, and there was another Browns fan's getting a beer. So I kind of like go Browns to him, and he said, go Browns back. And he looked at me, and he goes, whoa, you're the guy that chugs all those beers. And I was like, you're the first person that's ever recognized me. That is amazing.
In Minnesota.
In Minnesota. I almost offered to buy his beer. I was so excited, but he had already paid for it.
Oh.
I just want to say thank you to whoever that gentleman was.
You should have took the cash. I would have took the cash.
Yeah?
If he offered to pay for your beers, I would have just took the cash.
No, I was going to offer to buy his beer because I was so touched that he recognized me.
Oh, okay. Misunderstood. Okay. He should have just took the cash then.
Yeah, he should have taken the cash. Anyway, we had such a great time. That's a weird city, by the way. I don't know what happened, but it's very everything was closed. Everything was closed.
Really?
I do have one funny story. You remember my friend Mike that was on one of our first episodes?
Yes.
He was on this trip, and we went to this awesome steakhouse, and they did like a whole 10-minute presentation on their steaks where they like showed us every cut and how they prepare it. It was so extensive. Your mouth's watering as you're hearing this go on. So my buddy Crutch, he unfortunately ate about 3 pounds of popcorn before we went, so his stomach was not in a good place. So he didn't really want to order a steak, but he also didn't want to admit that he didn't want to order a steak, so he told the waiter that he was vegetarian. So he didn't make the waiter feel bad. And we're all just like, wait, what? He's not a vegetarian, and I don't know. Obviously, such a story that should not be told on this podcast because you had to be there. I apologize to all 5 of you that are listening right now.
Right, we're sorry.
All right, let's move on. Let's see here. So I do want to make a programming notes. We're very excited on next week's Dog Chug.
Yeah.
We are going to have the great Ed and Kelly on, Ed's beautiful wife. They are going to battle it out so that we can declare, the Dog Chug can declare who is the better Twitter follower of that happy little couple.
Do you know if Ed has gained any ground since he's been on and we just started?
He actually gained 3 followers since last week, and Kelly gained 227. So. All right.
That ratio, 300 to 327, that's not good.
Now, I am just so out of sorts. Do you realize that we didn't even invite Mick to the chat? I better
didn't invite. I'm sorry?
No, I forgot to invite Mick to our chat. So why don't you vamp for a minute, entertain the audience while I do that?
Oh, okay. All right, Andy. You know, when I talked to Mick, last week I get a message from Mick, and it was 8:30 Saturday night. And it was right after you posted the thing where your buddy wanted to go to sleep or whatever. He's dying on you. And it's Mick in Australia. He's like, hey, mate, are we ready to go in an hour and a half? And I had to break it to him that he's a week early. He might be a day ahead, but I found out in Australia they're actually a week early and not a day ahead of us. They're a week ahead of us. So, yeah, he was all pumped up to do a show last Saturday night. And he's like, oh, no worries, mate. I'm on lockdown anyway. I'm just stuck in the house. I'll be there next Saturday. I felt bad, you know. And then today I was just bombarding him with information about our production here. And I was like, I told him last week, I said, hey, you're going to know the day of the show because I'm going to be messaging you. So halfway through the thing today, he's like, oh, yeah, today's show day, you know. Yeah, I felt bad. He was ready to go last.
That was some phenomenal vamping you just did. I think we only lost 3 of our 5 members, so way to go. I am excited to announce that Mick's here. I am the worst. However, I do want to make one little note between you. Obviously, inevitably, Americans are very stupid, and I know we're going to say some dumb things that are kind of insulting to Australians. So I think every time we do that, we should drink beer in honor of Mick. Do you agree to this?
It's Saturday night, absolutely. I don't have to work tomorrow, so yeah.
Well, right.
I'm loaded. I'm locked and loaded over here with beer. So
with that, we're gonna bring Mick on right now.
Oh, Andy.
So,
there he is.
Welcome.
Go Browns, Mick.
There he is.
Go Browns, fellas. How are we all?
We are doing great.
Yes, down under. Love it. That's how we feel all day, Andy. That's it.
Do you know how hard it was to set up my laptop to be able to turn it upside down like this? No.
Mate, gravity is a beautiful thing. Otherwise, we're falling off the bottom, mate.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't know, 20 minutes into figuring out how to do that, but I didn't think to send you the link to be able to jump on, which is why I am horrible at this. But whatever, that's the shit show that is the Dog Chug, right?
Love it.
I love that you're on.
I failed. You know, Andy had to turn the computer thing upside down, and I'm a commercial plumber, so all week I worked on getting a toilet to flush counterclockwise, and I couldn't do it. I was going to have that for you to make you feel more at home. But I couldn't get it together. I don't know how the hell you people do it down there. It's awesome, though. But, yeah, I wasted about 4 man hours on that, and it couldn't come together.
We'll use a boat paddle, mate.
Makes sense.
I look a stubby short of a 6-pack all week trying to do this, mate.
Damn straight, mate. Damn straight.
I arced up like 5 times doing it too. Just.
So what's been going on, fellas? Andy, you've had an amazing time down in Minnesota. Is that it?
We did have an amazing time, yes. The city was a little weird. Everything was closed. It was hard to find a place to go. They had a Browns backers bar, and on Saturday night it was closed apparently because they ran out of beer. Which shows Browns fans really agree.
That's just piss planning on their part. You got Cleveland Browns fans coming. It's not Bills fans coming to town. You got the dog pound coming into your city, and you're going to run out of beer. That's just piss poor.
If you can't get a pig's ear while you're watching the Browns game, or even the night before, there's something going wrong.
There's definitely something going wrong. We're so excited to have you on. We wanted to have you on a Saturday night so it wouldn't disrupt your schedule too much. Right now, what time is it? 1
It is 1 p.m. on Sunday afternoon.
Yeah. Wow.
Hey,
has anything exciting happened?
Hey, I got some yard work to do tomorrow. What's the weather like tomorrow? What's it like over there? What's 1 p.m. like?
So we're heading into spring. So the weather's starting to fine up, which is amazing. I'm just getting the temperature up for today. So we hit 25 degrees today up here in Sydney, or down here in Sydney. And if I do that quick little conversion for you.
It's 77 degrees.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow.
So, I know you guys run between 15 Celsius and 25 Celsius. That would be our 59 to 77 in Australia. And you're also the largest city. Yeah. I'm on top of it. I said that it's the largest in population and size. Sydney's the largest city in Australia. And man, I tell you, I read about Australia all week today. I was just intrigued, and I got to ask you. I started reading about the things that'll kill you. What certain death is right outside your doorstep when you leave? Because I got a biker down the street that wears an eye patch. That's the craziest thing. That's the scariest thing I got in Cuyahoga Falls. What about you? If you walk out the doors, there's something that'll kill you. So
where I live, my house backs on to just Australian bush. So during the summertime, when things start to heat up a bit, I'm sure that there's brown snakes, red belly, black snakes. Red bellies probably wouldn't kill you, but they definitely put you in hospital. The brown snakes are up there as one of the most deadly ones in the world, if not the. So they'd be around in there.
Do they have any orange and brown snakes?
No, we don't. But they do top of the food chain just because they're brown. But the other one are the spiders. So the funnel webs. I feel like it was about a couple of months ago. We had one of the funnel webs running through the living room, which is a fun one. So just got a thong to kill it. So then we go from there. But I mean flip flops, not yeah.
Andy, those funnel web spiders.
Things out there.
Those funnel web spiders got fangs on them. They'll eat right through rattleskin boots and get you.
Wow.
That's how big they're. Yeah.
They're big. The fangs on them are good, but they're definitely ones. If you get one of those, you want an ambulance quick because they'll put you in a coffin pretty quick.
Yeah.
Wow. That's nothing. I was in my local woods and I saw little garter snakes slither by, and I almost got a concussion when I hit my head on the fence in fear. So very dangerous.
Yeah. But so we had a couple of, was it last summer? I took the kids just to the local shopping centre, and we had a guy down there doing a snake show, and he's doing the snake show just to do some a bit of, for the kids, a bit of here's what to do, don't do kind of thing.
Sure.
And this guy was in about a 3x3 pen, and he just let the snakes out just with him in there. He had taipans, he had brown snakes, you had the lot, you had tiger snakes. Yeah, that was pretty funny. But watching a guy in the middle of it, Anyway,
Was his name Johnny Knoxville?
No, it wasn't, and he didn't look like Steve Irwin or Crocodile Dundee either. So either.
All right. Well, we prepared some dog chug questions for you. I think you might have answered some of these on the Barking Browns, but bear with us. We have a totally different audience, obviously. How long have you been a Browns fan? Part one.
Since 2018, 2017.
Oh, nice. So you got to like just cut off 17 years of shit.
Yeah. So it was the 1-15 season that got me intrigued because so I have to admit I'm more from a soccer background. So
Sure.
I'd done a bit of coaching, and one of the things was, what sport do you watch that you could possibly bring in to sort of coach your soccer and stuff like that. And the way in which NFL's basically set plays was something that intrigued me in that sense. And so then when I started watching, and it was the 1-15 season, when Hugh stood up there and goes, "It can't get any worse, otherwise I'll go and jump in the lake." And I was like, okay, I've got to watch this to see if this guy ends up having to do it. And there you go.
Yeah, like 15 years later, he waited till the hottest day in Cleveland and then just dipped his toe in the lake and it's like, okay, I'm good.
Yeah, that's it. He should have done it mid-season.
Yeah. He should have seriated it up.
And when he jumped in, he should have kept going to Canada. Just keep going.
Okay, so when we followed it up with 0-16, was there ever a point where you're like, okay, maybe it's time to find a different team?
No. So in Australia, we have this kind of way of going where you can change your wife, you can change your religion, you can change your politics, but you never change your sporting team.
That's phenomenal. Glad we got you in. All right. I know you're in Browns Packers Club. I'm guessing it's out of Sydney, yeah?
Yep.
So do you meet for the games? Do you ever meet outside of the season?
So the last season been a bit difficult. COVID's kind of made it a bit hard for us. So we're just about to come out of lockdown at the moment. So we've been in a lockdown in Sydney since, I think it's over 20 weeks now. So where you're not allowed to have anyone over, all the bars and stuff are closed and stuff like that. So we've been in a scenario like that for about 20 weeks, and we're just coming out of that now. The other thing is that most of the games are on Monday mornings, so that makes it very difficult for people that have to get to work. So tomorrow's game is probably the worst time possible for us because it's actually 7 o'clock in the morning. So at 7, you sort of you get about an hour and a half of it in before you got to get to work. So and then you sort of got to watch the replay a bit later, or that kind of thing. So the ones that are like the 1 o'clock games, so the 4 a.m. games, they're good because they're done before you have to go to work. But it's obviously difficult to get the Browns backers together to watch games early.
Man,
yes,
that's incredible.
Sorry.
That's dedication, Andy. I don't think anybody in Ohio would do that when we were 0-16. You get up at 4 a.m., watch a Browns game, and go to work. I know this guy wasn't doing it. I'm DVRing it. That's dedication.
It wouldn't be the majority of the fan base. Although I do know fans that would hopefully have that commitment. Yes. I think I famously said if the Browns were playing the Steelers in the playoffs and someone gave me the chance. Never mind. I don't want to tell that story. I can't tell that story. It's personal. God. I'm having a rough week, so I'm just going to put that out there. Let's go to the next question. My point is, what's it like when the Browns win and you can't really celebrate with anyone? Obviously, you can jump on social media and, have fun, right? But in Cleveland, we have everyone around us that we can just celebrate with. What's that like?
Yeah, so I had for the last 2 seasons, I had a good mate of mine who lived only about 5 minutes around the corner. So we'd watch the games together. So he'd come over to my place, or I'd go to his place.
Yes.
And so whoever was traveling, you had to swim via McDonald's, pick up a coffee, arrive with the coffee at, it could be 3 o'clock in the morning, watch the game, coffees throughout the day, and then after a win, celebrate, and then drive off and go to work. So the other good thing is with our backers chapter down here, a lot of the people who are in our chapter, they actually are at my workplace. So so there was me and a couple other mates. We were getting into the Browns, and we went, well, let's start a chapter, and then people were intrigued because obviously there's not too much NFL. It's getting bigger, to be honest. Like there's a lot more sort of jerseys and things getting around this year more than ever before. But not many people really get into the NFL. So people were sort of like, oh, okay, I'm kind of interested in what's going on, and so a fair few people joined up. So when we get into work, usually there's a few people that are talking the score and a bit happy about that. So it's not too bad. But the downside is that with a loss. I'm a school teacher, so when I go to work, I've got students who know that I follow the Browns, and I've taught a couple of Ravens fans and a couple of Steelers fans, and when we were losing, they would just all day, it would be relentless. So yeah.
Well, obviously, that's a good way to get an F.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. So.
All right, gonna keep the questions coming. Do you ever, when are you going to get the chance to go to a Browns game? Obviously, you're going to have to wait till COVID's over, but how excited are you for that to happen, and when do you foresee that happening?
I'm really excited for it to happen. So I believe it or not, I'm going to be turning 40 soon enough in a couple of years' time, and so I've put it to the wife that if I can save the dollars to get over for my 40th.
Wow, 40th.
Yeah. So I'm thinking maybe that might be a thing, but I want to try and get the timing right. So I don't know whether I'll have to take some long service leave from work so that I can get over and see as many Cleveland sports games as I can. So that'd be a fantastic opportunity to get over. It'll be great. Meet a whole heap of Browns Twitter and get to see the Brownies actually in person would be amazing.
If you come, I will dedicate some kind of chug challenge to it because that would be phenomenal. Very excited. And by the way, when you come to the States, would you come for like a period of time, or would it just be like for a week in Cleveland and then zip out? Because I know my buddy who comes, when he comes to the States, he likes to spend a good month, and they go all over the place.
Yeah, so I don't know if I'd be able to save enough money to go for a full month, but if I could get maybe a week or two, and then hopefully see, a couple of Browns games. But if I get the timing right, and if, I would have said if the Indians, but if the Guardians can get into the postseason, then maybe I'll be able to see a fair few different sports. So it'd be good to see some baseball and some hockey as well. So maybe we can get that happening.
I have a friend who's from Australia, and when he visited, we went to the Indians were in the playoffs, I think the day before, and then the Browns played the Bills on Thursday Night Football. Yeah, and Brian Hoyer got injured in that game, so we got to go consecutive days in huge games. It was one of the best 2 days ever. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, see, something like that would be amazing. I just have to. You may as well just give me a beer IV.
All right. Next question. We all know living in Australia means death is constantly staring you in the face, and you have to keep your face on a swivel. If you could engineer a Steelers fan's death, what terrible animal would you use, and how would you do it?
Whoa.
He does this to me all the time too, Mick.
That's a very, very good question. I think the one that scares me the most is possibly a shark. So maybe that one.
A Steelers fan get eaten by a shark.
You don't want to end up a shark biscuit, mate.
No,
That's what you don't want to do. No.
No.
All right,
so you don't want that. But then the other one like up in North Queensland, up the top where we have the box jellyfish, they're the ones that'll kill you as well. So like you just sort of swimming around, and if the jellyfish get you, you just sort of become paralyzed and drown. So that, I don't know, that'd be a good one.
I think I'd rather see a sealer fan die by jellyfish than by shark. I don't know. It's close. I think we might need to set up both scenarios, and then we'll all judge.
That's it. Because I feel like a spider bite or a snake bite, it'd be over too quick.
Yeah, you're probably right. All right, well, I love that. Final question. They started out somewhat serious, and they just get dumber and dumber, so I apologize. But in America, it's customary for attractive female teachers to bang their male students. Since everything is upside down in Australia, do the male teachers get it on with the female students?
No.
And are you just saying that because you are getting it on with a female student and you don't want anyone to know?
No.
All right.
Sounds like Mick knows what our Fifth Amendment is. He's taking a bit of that.
No, that's categorically denied.
All right, well, I had to ask the question, obviously. Okay, now we are going to play our favorite game on the Dog Chug Dogcast.
Yes.
And that is, I don't know if you're familiar, but it's called Chug, Sip, Spit. So I'm going to pose a question, and if you are a staunch believer in what I'm saying, then you chug. If you kind of agree with what I'm saying, but not wholeheartedly, then you sip. And if you are a firm denier, then you spit. And then we'll all go around and we can explain our rationale. So question number one, this is like what everything on Twitter has been about. But I want to hear what we all think about this one. So let's just talk about Baker Mayfield. He had a bad game. Are we chugging on Baker? Are we sipping on Baker? Are we spitting on Baker moving forward? And obviously, I see a chug. What are we chugging there, by the way? What was in that bottle?
So this is not the greatest of Australian beers, but Tui's Extra Dry.
Ah.
So this is one of our Australian beers, but yeah, it's not one of our best ones. It's kind of, I'd say it's probably maybe a bud for you guys.
So it's puddle water is basically what you're saying if it's a Budweiser.
Yeah, that's right. We've got a few of those here in Australia, but that'll be one of them.
They don't mess around down there with the naming the beers. It's just extra dry. That's it.
Yeah, that's
extra
right.
dry. Extra dry O. Extra dry O.
We call them TEDs for short.
All right, so you chugged your puddle water. Why are you chugging on this question?
Baker's the man. I'll ride with Bake. He's the guy that's going to take us the whole way.
All right, Roger, what do you say?
I'm with Mick. I'm chugging on Baker Mayfield. I've been chugging on Baker Mayfield since he played in Columbus in 2015. Would have been 15, right? Or 2018. I've been chugging on this kid since I seen him play in college. He had a bad game. He's got a bum shoulder. I see Stefanski game planning better to protect him. So I'm chugging on Baker Mayfield this week.
All right. Well, for me, I get it. We're not really allowed to use excuses to justify bad play until someone's established. So fine. Baker sucked the past 2 games after being solid the first 2 games, although unproductive. But Baker has defined his career when the pressure is on. Last season, after looking like he didn't belong in the field against Pittsburgh, he pulled it together. And they finished, 10 straight games playing at near elite level. Will he manage to do it again? I don't know, but that's the fun of sports. So it's going to be fun to find out, and you better believe I'm chugging because I'm a true 6-homer.
That's it. Now, before we go on to the next one, give me 30 seconds to quickly refresh my bottle.
You take all the time you need. I just hope a doesn't get him.
Well, considering you forgot to bring him into the green room and
yeah. I can't. I don't even know what's going on with me lately. It's been a very personally stressful week, but everything's good. So, all right, we're gonna move on to question number 2.
Back.
Kevin Stefanski was Coach of the Year. We're 3-1, but we've kind of failed to take it to the next level, and in fact, our offense has sort of regressed. So, is Kevin having a sophomore slump, or is he about to repeat Coach of the Year? Roger, we're going to start with you.
Well, I'm going to sip on this, and only because, in the NFL, it's, Stefanski's not going to run out and get the Coach of the Year again, next year or at the end of the season.
Does he deserve it, Roger? Does he deserve it? Obviously, does he deserve it? We're obviously not going to probably give it to him because they don't want to give it to the guy twice, but will he be the Coach of the Year is the question I'm asking.
I'm going to say, I'm chugging on that. Despite what the popular opinion is, Kevin Stefanski is still going to be the best coach in the NFL this season. I'm chugging on it.
You are such a homer. All right, my answer is Ted Lasso took a minute to get going this season, but he coached him back to the Premier League. Spoiler alert. Hope you all watched the finale last night. Kevin Steadyhand will be the reason we win the division. We're just getting started, so I'll also chug. Dan Vick, what say you?
I'm all in.
Use less words in Australia. We often make sure we have an Australian on every week of the dog check because we always go way too long, and everyone's like, your show should be 10 minutes long. It should be 10 minutes.
I'll tell you this right now. For me, Stefanski, I think you've got a guy who stepped in. He turned the Browns around in one season with no off season. He did his best putting bits and pieces together on offense, especially with big injuries and stuff throughout last year. The defense wasn't anywhere near what it was last year. And this year, he's finally got, or Joe Woods has finally got some toys on the defense to be able to, make a big play. We all know defense wins championships. And so if we keep teams to, let's say we keep teams to 14 points in a game, that puts us a big advantage going forward in every game. And, you look at Nick Chubb basically putting one touchdown in a game as a minimum. And then you can put in Kareem Hunt as well. And we haven't even started talking about the passing attack. So, look, I think Stefanski's got it sorted. There's going to be games where things aren't going to work. The game plan's not going to work as well as you'd hope. But this guy's going to take us all the way to the Super Bowl, and I, for one, am all for it.
Oh, I love it. It's a marathon, not a sprint, right?
That's it.
All right, we're going to move on to question number 3. Steelers' offense has gone from concerning to undefendable. Will they get it together? And I am just spit on this because fuck the Steelers.
So am I supposed to either chug because I think they're absolutely putrid?
I think if you think they're going to get it together, then you chug. If you're moderate, then you sip. If you are aggressive, they're going to get it together, you spit. God, you Australians are very crass, by the way. And I think I have to drink on that. It's supposed to be insulting to Australians.
The Steelers are horrible.
They're horrible.
But it's one of those things.
Especially the Steeler kids in your classroom, by the way.
Oh, it's apprehensible. But it's one of those things where, if I'm in a bad mood and I want to get in a good mood, I just need to watch a couple of Ben Roethlisberger clips this year.
It's been phenomenal.
Like, how good was that one where he basically got sniped, or it was tripping over his own shoelaces throwing the ball? What's going on there?
He throws like a 5-yard pass and the momentum just carries him right to the dirt.
And I love watching him be the guy that stands in the pocket and thinks, oh, yeah, I'll just be able to shrug guys off. Not anymore, big fella. You're just going to get smacked.
Roger, what were you saying?
I'm just saying, if you're in a bad mood or you're having a bad day, go and read Andrew Filipino, the beat writer for the Steelers. He's awesome. He's comical. He's the funniest guy I've ever read on Twitter.
I'll have to get you to tag. You'll have to pass me on his tag because I'll definitely watch it.
I saw a Twitter Steeler fan were on the side of a milk carton this week. They're nowhere to be found. They're missing. They're MIA. I haven't heard a peep out of them.
All right, Roger. What say you on this question? Or let's see you spit on this question.
Spit.
All right. Now let's hear some comical words about how the Steelers suck. Let's go. Bring it.
I lost you there for a second, Andy. I'm sorry.
I want you to explain why you think the Steelers are spit-worthy.
They live on the side of the Appalachian Mountains and the foothills. They're ridge runners. The fan base. Their family get-togethers are orgies, Andy. That's why you can't trust any of them. You know, their little kids are running around. They got one eye. Everything about them. And that Mike Tomlin. Oh, he's so smug. You know, they asked him if Ben was their quarterback, and you can see the guy lying. You can just see the lies coming out of his mouth. They asked him if he believed in Ben Roethlisberger, and just everything about him, from their colors to their cousins, everything about him. I'm spitting on them, all of it.
The only way the Steelers are going over 500 this year is if Mike Tomlin's tackling people on the sideline again.
I love it. I have to ask you a question. In your classroom with the Steeler kids, do they have one eye?
No.
Because
they're not. The thing is, they're not from Pittsburgh, so they don't have the genes.
I feel like as soon as you take on that team, though, your teeth just start falling out. You start thinking your cousin's sexy. I don't know. Whatever. Let's move on. All right. Browns defense has carried the team the past 2 weeks. Can they keep it up despite injuries, or will they come back down to earth? And Mick, we're going to start with you. Oh, he's chugging. I can't wait till you come to Cleveland on your 40th. That's going to be a beautiful kinship with you.
You come to the end of this year, we'll have the best defense in the league.
Wow, that is a bold statement. Hot take.
Number one.
Roger, you should not have chased away 3 of our fans when you were vamping, because that's a bold statement.
Easily number one. There's no way. Like the way that Garrett, Clowney, McKinley, McDowell, Jackson, those guys up front, it's setting everything up. And the way that we're covering at the back end, and JOK has been a revelation. Hey.
So you've only watched the Browns for, 3-4 years now? I don't think we've watched a player of JOK's ilk every year. Like, the Steelers draft that guy, and he's phenomenal, and he just makes us look silly. Watching him, it's only been a short amount of time, but we've never seen a linebacker play like this before, ever. It's like he knows.
I just love how fast and ferocious he is. He's amazing. He's going to rip someone's head off every single play.
Grant Delpit, his ability to read the play and get to where he needs to be I've just never seen Browns young players play like this before. It's so refreshing. There's a tear to my eye. All right, Roger, what say you? Are you spitting on this one too?
I'm chugging. This is on the Browns front side. Am I spitting on this one? Look.
I'm trying to confuse you.
Because I'm such a homer. But Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah is a combination of, I don't know, you guys are too young to remember Robert L. Jackson, Stonewall Jackson, linebacker, number 56, in the early 1980s. Chip Banks, and Tom Darden, all wrapped into one. He's everywhere on the field. And like you said, Mick, with our front four, and you know what really gets me is Joe Woods is sending blitzes, and that's from what I understood or what I thought I understood of Joe Woods' scheme is that he relied on the front four getting pressure and playing, tight coverage, and he's sending blitzes. You got Delpit, you got JOK going in. He's got quarterbacks blitzing. He's really starting to open up the playbook, and I think that's what he needed to do. It always worried me when he would say things like, oh, we're going to ease this guy into it. We're going to ease this into it. You know what? Throw the whole playbook at him and let him figure it out and learn from his mistakes. We don't have time to sit around and ABC this. Let's throw the whole book at him, see what sticks, and go from there. I'm chugging on that.
All right. So I am like the biggest homer, but I'm gonna be a little bit less of a homer today because I am gonna sip on this one.
Alice, okay.
My reason is just the Browns can never have nice. We can't get the offense going and then the defense going at the same time. That's not gonna happen. Not
we're still winning.
We're gonna keep winning, but it's like one's gonna either be good or the other's gonna be good. And my belief is the offense is gonna come back to earth tomorrow, which is going to be like Tuesday for you, Mick. I think the defense might regress a little bit tomorrow, and the offense is going to step it up, and that's why we're going to win. So I'm just sipping on that reality, nothing else behind it. So anyway, question number 5 of our famous sip, chug, spit game, which that's in the wrong way.
And now it's world famous because Australia knows about it. It's international. Sip, chip.
That's it. International dog chug.
It's international. It's worldwide.
This question's only for you, Mick. The U.S. is currently up to 733,058 COVID deaths, while Australia is at 1,432. Will the U.S. ever get it together in your mind? Chug.
So am I supposed to chug if yes? Sip.
If you think the U.S. is going to get it together and kick COVID's ass, then you chug.
I'll sip it.
So you think we're gonna do a good job?
I think you'll get there. But I think the difference is that. So, for example, Sydney and Melbourne, 2 biggest cities in Australia.
Yep.
Melbourne in particular, and the Melbourne guys, so like Dave, Barrels, Aussie Dog, all those guys, they'll be able to tell you this as well. They've been locked down more than any other city. I think they're the most locked down city in the world. And so in Australia, we sort of lock down or start to get restrictions come in as soon as we sort of get maybe 5 or 10 cases in the whole state.
As soon as you see a smidge of COVID, you're just like, lock it down.
Yeah, that's it. And in Melbourne, it's even more so. So they'll lock down to the point where no one's allowed out past like 9 o'clock at night. You can't travel more than 5 kilometers or whatever that converts to miles for you guys, but 5 kilometers from the house. You're only allowed outside to exercise for 1 hour a day. That kind of stuff. Like that's the lockdown sort of happens really quickly. In Australia, you would have seen there's a couple of sort of protests and things, but they're sort of more professional protesters that are just coming in to stir up some trouble and things like that. But at the end of the day, most Australians, they'll be sitting there going, okay, well, if it means that, we're going to get out of this sooner, that's what they're going to do.
Nice.
And so that's I think that's the major difference that I can see. But either way, you look at the States, you guys, your vaccination rates are a lot higher than ours at the moment. So, and that's where.
Is that more because is there the access to the vaccines in Australia right now? I have no idea.
Yeah, so we took a little while. Like our vaccine sort of rollout was a little bit slower, but yeah. So like once it's all vaccinated, I think we're finding now that we've hit, what is it, in Sydney we're at 70% fully vaccinated of the city, and so they're basically removing all restrictions as of tomorrow. Or not all restrictions, but we're allowed to have people over. Pubs and clubs are opening up again tomorrow, stuff like that. Yeah. So, but I think they're sort of sitting there going, well, once we get to 80%, 90% vaccinated, it's not going to worry about cases. Everyone knows the cases are going to go up, but I think it's now time to live with COVID, and I think that's what everyone's got to do in the world. So, yeah.
All right.
Anyway.
Well, wonderful answer. I think I just made this the most political list we've ever got.
Yeah, sorry for taking it there.
No, I took it there. Right. So, anyway, that was phenomenal. Well done. Now we are going to go to our favorite game, the week tweet of the week. And let's see. This is where I'm going to actually read 3 tweets that we found on Twitter that are probably really stupid, and then we're all going to vote on which one is the worst. Sound fun?
I'm in.
All right, here we go. So I'm going to post this. I think I can do it this way. I'm going to post it in the chat, and I think I can make it go on the bottom of the screen. How cool would that be? Show. Look at that. Okay. Someone tweeted, I want to make a comment on our defense. This is right after the game when we were doing really well. But I don't want to Nick Carnes it. So that was the gist of his post. He couldn't say the Browns defense played great. He had to actually say, I don't want to be a Nick Carnes homer, so I'm going to passive-aggressively say fuck you to Nick Carnes while also saying the defense was great. Fuck this guy. If you want to talk about the Browns defense being good after they played good, just talk about the Browns defense being good. You psychopath. Sorry, I'm very worked up over this one. Nick Carnes is obviously a cheerleader, and he's fantastic at it, and I love everything he puts out there. It gets me excited. But, again, just tweet what you want to do. This was a very, very just angry comment trying to put down someone that's successful at Twitter, and fuck that. So let's move on to tweet number 2. Sorry, it takes me a minute. All right, I gotta hide this one and show this one. Okay, here we go. There are 2 completely different sides on Brown's Twitter, laughing my ass off. The good side and the Surdiot Nick Carnes side. Obviously, I'm a little Nick Carnes obsessed, but these were the only bad tweets I can find. Sorry about that. Again, this is absolutely ridiculous. Nick Carnes is a cheerleader. Surdiot's just putting out funny shit. Maybe you don't think it's funny. I don't care. Point is, you can either be a realist or you can just be someone that wants to have fun on Twitter. If you don't appreciate both, you're probably an asshole, in my opinion. So, do either of you have anything to say about this one? I feel like I'm dominating the conversation.
I just think there's only a small amount of people on Twitter who have actually probably played in the NFL or even coached at that level.
Yes, that's a good point.
And I think that anyone that sits there and says that they know better than the coaching staff currently at the Browns, previous coaching staffs maybe, but currently with the Browns, if you think you know better than them and you think that they're not having these conversations in their team meetings and things like that, then I think you're delusional. Why not just have some fun on Twitter?
Completely agree. And yeah, we need to stop taking it so serious. And that's why I like these 2 personalities on Twitter, because they have fun with it. That's what we should be doing more often than not. The world is a very depressing place sometimes. I want the fun part of Twitter, which is why I just do stupid stuff like chug beers. I don't know. I'm an idiot. Roger, what say you?
I'm sorry. I missed everything. I was making a sandwich. I'm hungry. I hope that I didn't interrupt anybody.
I see a future bit coming. Real quick, Roger, what kind of sandwich are you making?
And if you'd like, I'd give you a bit of my Vegemite sandwich. if you'd like. If you'd like a bite of my Vegemite sandwich, I'll give it to you, Andy.
Right.
This is nutritious. This is a wholesome snack.
I would eat that.
No?
Real quick though, I want to make sure.
I would eat that.
I want to make sure our other two audience members knows what we're talking about, because last time this came up, I was completely clueless to this, and I'm sure the other two people are. Mick, why don't you sum up what Vegemite?
Yes.
Vegemite.
To the people that are clueless, like I used to be, what this is.
Basically, it's like yeast and flavoring.
What kind
And
of flavoring?
I don't even know what's in it.
That's all you got
It's
for
delicious.
me?
I don't. To be honest, I don't know what's in it, but I've eaten it just about every week of my life.
Am I doing this right, Mick? Just on bread, just a spread and go? Is it like jelly?
Yeah, did you put some butter on it first?
No, I wish you would have told me that. I
Now
love butter.
So put some butter and then put some Vegemite on the sandwich. Yeah, I have a Vegemite, maybe even a slice of cheese in there. But yeah, I'll have Vegemite for lunch most days of the week.
I'm going to find out right now, because the first time I ever heard about this was in the song in the 8th grade. It was the #1 song when we were at Geauga Lake at the amusement park. And I thought everybody danced like that in Australia. All right, well, here we go. Andy.
Here we go.
You'll hate it.
Please.
Holy.
I can't tell if he's liking it or if he's not liking it.
Be honest, Rog. What do you think, mate?
Yeah.
Andy, have you ever licked a salt lick? Like a deer salt lick? That's what this is. Holy. That'll put hair. That's going to put hair on your chest, this stuff. Holy smoke.
Keeps the snakes away.
You don't have hair in your chest yet?
If you don't have hair on your chest, get yourself right. Women, I'd stay from it. Oh, man.
Yeah, so a bit of on the toast in the morning, a bit of butter, Vegemite on toast. Yep, that's fantastic. A bit of butter, Vegemite cheese. Again, great. Vegemite, bit of avocado on there. Amazing.
Vegemite.
That's it.
If you want hair on your chest, get yourself some.
We have failed to get a weird sponsorship week after week, but I think we might get.
So I'll be honest. So Rog, I'll give you a little bit of a tip here. Okay. Now, there are people in Australia that will, like, you can get little snack sizes of Vegemite, and they'll just eat it with a spoon. So they won't even put it on anything, and they'll just eat it with a spoon.
Straight out of the. If I have 2 more beers, I will squirt some straight down into my mouth. Oh,
just do it, Rog. You'll love it.
All right. Well,
I told you. Yep.
That's an acquired taste.
Yeast and salt and
Yeah.
All right. Well, we just need to get him to drink one more beer, because I think you're chugging a beer at the end of this. You've already committed to that, so you're definitely going to follow your chug up with squirting some Vegemite right down your throat. It's going to be amazing. If you're really bored right now, you should tune in a little longer, because Roger might puke, which is going to be hilarious. All right. Anyway, let's get back to our week tweet of the week segment. So we still have the second one down there. Let's get rid of that. And whatever. I put 3 out there. Obviously, the third one's going to win. So it doesn't really matter if you don't remember the first 2. All right. Here we go.
I love it. Roger's going on to water just to get the Vegemite taste out of his mouth.
All right. Here is
next week. I'm going to still be tasting this.
Here's the third week tweet of the week. Week tweet of the week. Oh my gosh. Here we go. Let's show that one. Okay. Watching The Replacements. Such a funny movie. 5 rolling on the floor emojis. Okay, that's obviously the winner. I apologize. This was one of Mick's tweets. I couldn't find a good third one, so I'm like, I'll look at his and see if I find anything. The fact that you're saying it's such a funny movie on The Replacements. I remember it was a fun movie, but Jesus Christ.
It was hilarious. I saw it on Netflix the other night, and I was just like, I had nothing on. I was like, oh, I'm just going to watch The Replacements.
Hilarious.
And it was so funny. It hasn't dated at all.
How about dated at all? Wasn't there didn't they hire? They couldn't find cheerleaders. Didn't they get strippers to be the cheerleaders?
Yeah.
Isn't that dated? That
yeah. There's one bit where the opposition coach is just like, get him to stop dancing for 2 minutes.
All right, I gotta ask, what's another movie that you find hilarious so we have something to compare it to?
I like most comedy movies, so anything that's going to make me laugh, I'll watch it. So,
what's a movie in your top 3 favorite comedies of all time? Just so our audience
favorite comedy. So I hate this stuff because I'm hopeless at remembering movies. But
all right, fine.
I do like Happy Gilmore. Happy Gilmore.
All right, Happy Gilmore's funny. I'll give you that. Happy Gilmore is a very funny movie.
Yeah. So I like that one.
I would give Happy Gilmore 5 rolling on the floor laughing emojis. Replacements are getting 2 though. If I can be honest.
You just got to look at the scenario of okay, you're watching a movie you haven't seen for a long time, and I thought it was great. I watched it. I hadn't seen it in ages, and I was like, this is actually still pretty funny.
What? Who is the guy that was? There was a linebacker that was Jesus.
Bateman.
No, but what's the guy that directed? The guy that directed Elf.
Directed Elf.
And God, this is why I need Ed on here. He's in the Marvel movies. He's like Iron Man's driver.
I know who you're talking about. Hang on.
Iron Man's driver.
Yeah. He's a linebacker. His character's called Bateman. He was great, hilarious.
But he's like a big fat guy. He's not a linebacker.
Well, he wasn't super fat because they had Jumbo on there. He was fat, but
all right. Anyway, sorry, I was trying to be funny there. Let's move on to our next horrible bit here. Oh my gosh, this is our best bit. It's our NFL Pick'em. This is going to be fun. So I don't know how familiar you are with the dog chug. Obviously, probably not because we only have 5 fans. But every week we have a fan represent, and we pick 3 games against the spread that my 3-year-old daughter actually picked. I don't know what they're going to be yet.
She's kicking our ass, Mick.
She's kicking her ass. I'm going to read the 3 games. We're all going to go around and we're going to pick. You're going to represent the fans each week. We have a fan pick 3 games, and then Roger and I pick, and then my daughter picks. And I'm going to read you the standings right now. This is amazing. We've picked 12 games so far against the spread. The fans and Roger are currently at 6-6, so they're right where you'd expect to be if you guessed 6 times, 12 times. You get 6 right. Krista my daughter is at 7, and amazingly, I am finally on the board, but I've gotten 1 out of 12 right. 1 out of 12. So if you bet against me on all my games, you would be doing amazing right now. All right, with that introduction, let's go. So the first game Krista picked is the Green Bay Packers at the Cincinnati Bengals, who are plus 2.5. The Bengals. They're getting 2.5 points. Mick, we'll start with you. Which of those 2 teams would you pick?
Packers, easy.
You're going to take the Packers, and it's easy. Yep. Okay. He's a man of short words. Roger, what do you?
I got to go Packers too. The Cincinnati Bengals are going to start playing they're going to start doing Cincinnati Bengals shit. And Aaron Rodgers is just a master right now. Cincinnati defense doesn't stand a chance against them. I'm going to go with the Packers.
All right. I am going with the Bengals because I'm trying to lose.
There's a surprise. And he wonders why he's 1-12.
He's only got 1, mate.
Well, I want the Bengals to lose. So if I pick the Bengals, they're going to lose. That's how I look at it. All right. Next game is the New Orleans Saints at the Washington football team that also tried to have strippers as cheerleaders, and it didn't work for them.
Hey.
Roger, why don't you get started?
No, repeat that for me. I'm sorry, I missed it.
I am sorry, I'm doing such a bad job here. The New Orleans Saints are playing the Washington football team, and the Washington football team is also getting 2.5 points.
I'll go with Riverboat Rod, and then I'm going to take the 2.5 points. Wow. Redskins.
Rod, you can't say that anymore. Come on, man. You gotta be better than that. I'm also going to take the Redskins.
I'll take the Saints.
Ooh.
And the final game is our Cleveland Browns at the Chargers, who our good friend Nick Carnes is currently down there. The Chargers are giving 1 point. I'm going to start us off, and I am obviously going to pick the Chargers.
I'll pick the Browns in a close one. I think the Chargers defense is going to give us some problems. I think with Wills Hubbard out, I think that could be a little bit squeaky bum syndrome. And I think after that, where the defense, I think will do really well. I think we'll give them all kinds of trouble. I'll go with the Browns in a close one.
I still hope you're right, Roger.
I'll tell you what. Chargers head coach is from Cleveland. He's going to go to bed tomorrow night, and he's going to be upset that his team lost, but his heart is going to be happy because the Cleveland Browns not only won, but they covered. I'm going to take the Browns.
Won, but they covered. The Browns are getting a point. We can't win and not cover.
I'm going to take the Browns. I'm going to give them 2 points. How about that, Andy? How about that?
Mick, does Vegemite have any alcohol in it?
No.
Or what about CBD? Does it have something going on?
Hey,
no, mate. Vegemite. It's the breakfast of champions.
If they put THC in this thing, I'm in. Because I'll eat sandwiches all day long. Me and the Brownie Elf will be eating Vegemite edibles.
I want you to have some straight. I want you to have, not on a sandwich, I want you to just have some straight.
Wow. Okay, so Krista, my daughter, picked the Bengals. The Saints.
She's doing it. Here it goes.
And the Browns. What's going on?
Not.
Jeez.
He'll be dealing with that for a week.
All right. Out of the three of us, raise your hand if you just shit your pants. Roger, you're such a liar.
It's like eating rock salt.
This has been by far our dumbest episode yet. Nick, thank you so much for being here.
So Andy, this week your job, Andy, is you've got to try some Vegemite, and then you can compare and you can let me know.
I will absolutely. This week or on next week's show?
Sure, next week's show for sure.
Or all right, I'm going to think on this. Maybe I can come up with something better than that. But are you okay, Roger? I don't know if he's not okay or if he's just deaf. It's a little bit difficult being on a show with someone who is physically deaf, but we're going to power through it. Let's go. All right. So we finished that. Oh, now we have my favorite segment of the week. This is awesome. I don't know if you're aware, Mick, but every week we try and move this window a little bit. Sorry. I got to move things. Every week we try and get a beer sponsorship. We try and chug a new beer and talk about how great it is, so that one of these dumb beer companies will give us money. It's been unsuccessful the entire time. But instead of doing that this week, we're doing everything we could to make you feel a little bit more comfortable. Because obviously, jumping on to this big American podcast for all the way down in Australia. It's got to be very intimidating for you. So we actually, Roger and I, imported your favorite beer. So why don't you go ahead and tell everyone what beer we imported. Roger, you just are such an asshole at spoiling things tonight, by the way. All right, well, yes, obviously your favorite beer we got a big Foster's. We know you love it.
I've never actually tasted Foster's.
That's impossible because they only have 2 beers, this and the puddle water you were having earlier. Unless you're saying you've only tried the puddle water.
So Foster's, I don't even know where you can buy that in Sydney.
Drug bar.
Yeah, in America.
So if I went to a pub, I'd go in there, and if I looked at what was on tap, there would not be Foster's anywhere.
Would they throw you out if you asked for a Foster's? Would they throw you out?
They just wouldn't have one.
It's like the Natty Light of Australia, is what you're telling us.
Yeah, they don't even have it. So you probably find the most common thing on a pub tap would be what we call VB, which is called Victoria Bitter. So that would definitely be on there. There'll be Carlton Draft is another one.
I've had that.
And then there'll be Tooheys New. So you know how Tooheys Extra Dry will be on there as well. But there's Tooheys New, Tooheys Extra Dry. Then you're probably looking at maybe like a Cooper's. So that's usually one. And then then you're probably moving into more your boutique kind of beers. Like each pub might have their own kind of boutique beer that they'll have on there. But they're kind of the staples that'll be in an Aussie pub.
The big thing here in America is the micro breweries. Do you have that in Australia with the smaller breweries, with the microbreweries and the hazy IPAs and all that? Okay.
Yeah, so what I'll do, hang on, I've got to get myself a new beer, but I do have a stout from a microbrewery down my way. And if you hit them up on Twitter, maybe they might like it. So I'll hang on, give me 2 seconds.
2 seconds.
Andy, wow. What is the deal with this fucking can?
Hold on, Roger. I'm pretty sure Mick is I'm pretty sure he's jumping out the fucking bathroom window right now. I think he's trying to get away. It's been an absolute shit show. Oh, there he is. He's back. All right.
He's back. I wanted to ask him what the hell is the deal with this fucking can? What is this thing? But he's never had one. It looks like a 55-gallon drum.
What? A tinny? A tinny. So that's what we call drinking out of a can, is a tinny.
Is it a big can?
Oh, a tinny, yeah.
So look. So this one.
Is that a White Claw?
This one's called from the 5 Barrel Brewery, and it's a milk stout. But it's so this one will be for later tonight. But yeah, 5 Barrels Brewery, they're pretty good.
That's a very appropriate can if you if you're very masculine and secure about your manhood. But this is a beer you drink if you're like
so. Yeah, so we'll have a tinny, which is if you're drinking out of the tins, and then you've got the stubby if you're drinking out of the bottle.
Okay, I like it. Well, anyway, I don't think we're going to get a Foster's sponsorship, but we'll keep trying.
I can see through it.
Yeah, that's it. So, like usually, because it's hot, you don't want something too heavy for a beer. Like you do want to be able to kind of see through it on a when it's 40 degrees. So what? Hang on, what's 40 degrees in Fahrenheit?
40 degrees in Fahrenheit. It sounds like 121.
It's hot, right?
Smell this shit?
I will say, like a black spider just ran out of my can after about 5 minutes after I opened it.
Yeah, so it's like 105 degrees. If it's 105 degrees, you want something refreshing and light, right? So that you can have a few of them. You don't want something that's going to fill you up and then you've got no room to sort of keep putting more in.
That's why I do Coors Light when I do my beer chugs. Yeah. All right, Roger, I think we got to get set up because it's time for your Los Angeles safety tips, bud. Let's go.
Well, I thought there for a minute that a litter box needs change, but it's the Foster's beer. It smells like cat piss.
Wait, you're not going to – oh, here we go. So this is like by far the best segment of the week. I don't know if you've been pretty. We're going to put Roger on the
We need some music.
Oh, here we go. So Roger's doing his safety tips in case any Browns fans are going to Los Angeles this weekend, how they can be safe. So obviously, like, this is aimed at people like Nick Carnes, who's there, who might be or might not be in a ditch right now. We don't know. But he's just going to try and help us get the info of how to party in that city safely. So pretty exciting. It does have a very long intro, so we probably should have done a segment in between while Roger's getting set up. It kind of does have a nice Halloween vibe going, though. Here we go. All right, you have the floor.
Mick, keep your hands where I can see them while we do this. What we have today are tips. If you're out there in California and you're a Browns fan, we're going to give you some tips and places to avoid. Andy, are you ready for this? I'll tell you what, it's the wild, wild west out in California. The first one we got is a bank robbery. It's the 300 block of South Grand Avenue, One California Plaza. The police report that at least 4 heavily armed suspects with automatic assault weapons robbed the First National Bank of California. Estimated $12.5 million was taken. There was a shootout with the police in the streets of LA that resulted in 1 dead suspect.
Jesus!
Several officers were injured. Death of an unidentified male believed to be the getaway driver was reported. 1 suspect believed to be one Neil McCauley was an accomplice escaped and is still at large, according to the LAPD detective Lieutenant Vincent Hanna. Boy, they're robbing banks and they're shooting people up right out in the middle of the street there, Andy.
I never thought Nick Carnes was a bank robber. Holy Jesus. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'm a little skeptical. Continue.
I feel like that's happened somewhere.
Yeah.
It's you know what? They can make a movie out of something like that. It's disturbing though. All right, I got another one for you. It's crime scene, homicide investigation, and kidnapping. Mason Dixie Pawn Shop, 20933 Roscoe Boulevard in the Canoga Park District of Los Angeles. I hope Nick didn't go there and try to pawn something to get some extra white money. That would be bad. The police reported a blood-soaked crime scene upon arrival. DUI male victim appears to have suffered a fatal single stab wound to the abdominal region with a large type of knife weapon. Police also reported an unconscious male. Subject was handcuffed and restrained by a chain and bolted an anchor to the ceiling of what appeared to be a makeshift medieval sexual torture dungeon in the basement of the pawn shop. The unconscious male was wearing leather S&M outfit and a gang ball in his mouth. They recovered a blood-covered samurai sword, a blowtorch, and some pliers. And the one witness said that a blood-soaked male was leaving the scene on a motorcycle, and witness number 2 said it was not a motorcycle, it was a chopper. The suspects are still at large.
I mean, I love that movie. This is
something
amazing,
wrong?
Roger.
What?
No, continue, please. Continue.
Okay, we got an assault. We got this is good. This one's the 3300 block of Hollywood Boulevard. It's a report of a 1989 Silver Lotus Esprit. Erratic driving, speeding, and failure to control. Officers stopped the suspect vehicle. After investigation, the police were confident that suspects were just lost and unfamiliar with the sports car and how it handled. The driver was listed as a Miss Vivian Ward. The passenger was Mr. Edward Lewis, and they were released with a warning to slow down and buy a map. The scantily clad Miss Ward apologized and reported to the officers that she was sorry, but the car cornered like it was on rails.
Feels like you should be
crazy
getting an award for that kind of a crime.
What? I took this right out of the Inglewood police blotter.
IMDb.
Okay, hold on. I got another one.
You guys a point you wanted to make. Let's hear from
Nick.
Nick.
I just feel like that's an award-winning crime.
It is an award-winning crime, and Miss Ward, she cleans up nicely. All right, here's another one. This is an assault. This is at 110 Sproul Hall, University of California, Berkeley. Reports of a male custodian in an aggressive altercation with a math professor after being called solving linear algebra equations meant for the students only.
Wow.
Mick, do you like apples, Mick? Do you like apples? How do you like them fucking apples?
Really?
Okay, hold on. Andy, I know you're probably getting frustrated with me. I was joking around a little bit. I got some real ones
with you 45 minutes ago, for being honest, but continue, please.
I got some real ones here. This is Paramount Movie Studios, Hollywood, California. A crime-fighting Australian croc hunter and his reporter girlfriend. They're investigating an international scandal of stolen art. At a crooked film studio in Hollywood, police are gathering information. The suspects appeared to pull a pocket knife on the croc hunter, who reportedly snickered. And as he drew his weapon, he said, Mick, what did he say?
That's not a knife. This is a knife.
How would you possibly know? It's because the news came out today, and you got to read it tomorrow. That's the only way you can know.
I got lazy.
Too funny. Funny.
Does anyone have a story that isn't a movie plot?
I've got one.
Yeah.
Are you all right if I go with one?
Yeah,
I was doing a little bit of reading up for LA and
I bet Australia has different police blotter periodicals from LA than we do. So.
Yeah, definitely. But I was doing a bit of research around LA, so I found this one.
Okay.
And it was 1000 block of Stadium Drive, Inglewood.
Okay.
And it says authorities were called this afternoon where an orange-dressed man was vigorously high-fiving strangers and making cheerleader-type statements with spaces. When police questioned the man, he said his bread truck had broke down and he was waiting for a tow, and he did admit to drinking 8 White Claws.
Oh.
Police asked him to leave the area, and he promised to go home and play Smash until game time tomorrow.
Wow. Well, at least that one ended in a happy ending. So that's good news.
Hey, Mick, are you trying to steal my job, Mick? I'm in the union. I just have you know that.
It's all
I don't know how he read that without laughing. Props to you. You're way more professional than we are.
Oh, I love it.
All right.
Oh,
Now,
that
we're
was
going to
great.
get you off out here. We have one more segment. It's our favorite. It's the best segment of the night. We always end with a game, and usually I prepare like a pretty good game, maybe. Unfortunately, I didn't do that because it's been like I said, it's been a week. So Roger and I quickly came up with a game just before you got on. That's probably why I forgot to send you a link. It's a very easy game. We're gonna make a statement, and then you're just gonna have to decide: did Andy do it or did Roger do it? And if you get 3 out of 5 right, you win. And here's the cool part: if you win, you will be in a drawing at the end of the season to come to the Browns-Bengals game this January. You can come all the way from halfway around the world to sit with me and Roger.
I'll start swimming now.
Or if you can't make it, as I suspect you may not be able to, we'll auction off the ticket for as much cash as we can get, and we'll send it right to you. So,
Vic,
even though
you're sleeping on my couch if you win. You're coming to America. You're coming to the game, and you're sleeping on my couch. And I got Vegemite, so you're not going to starve to death.
Love it.
I guarantee if you think there's some scary shit going on in Australia, wait till you sleep on Roger's couch.
And I got this piss water too. I'm going to save this for you.
I'm starting to feel like home already, Rog.
All right. So I'm going to make the first statement very simple. Between me and Roger, this person was involved in a prison riot. Was that me or was that Roger?
A prison riot.
Prison riot. An actual prison riot.
I'm going to say Andy.
That was Roger. So you're stuck up behind, unfortunately. You're 0-1.
Thanks, man.
I was involved in many a riot, but never a prison riot. All right. Question number 2. This person spent years of his life on a bowling league. Was it me or was it Roger?
That's definitely Andy.
He's 1-1. Good job.
Andy's a kegler. There's no doubt about it. Andy's a kegler.
I'm surprised you don't do this show with a bowling shirt on, Andy.
Well, that's a good point.
Put his name on it.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's it.
I literally ran upstairs before the show started to get a Browns shirt. I just realized I forgot to change. I'm wearing this dumb green polo shirt because I had a real estate appraisal I had to go to. And wow. Anyway, this has not been my day. So I apologize to the two of you that are left.
Big Ann. Your bowling shirt will say Big Ann on it. It'll be Big Ann.
Oh my God. Big Earn is probably my favorite sports character of all time. I would give Big Earn 5 LOL emojis. I would give nobody from the replacements. Okay. Question number 3. You're 1-1. That means you just have to get 2 of the next 3 right, and you are in like Flint. So, number 3. This person led AA meetings with a group of people. Was it me or was it Rog?
I'm going to say Rog.
2-1. That means all you have to do is split the next 2. You can get 1 wrong, you can get 1 right, and you win.
Here we go. I got this.
They tried to rein me in.
Okay. This person got bit in the ass by a brown reclusive spider and had to spend a month in the hospital recovering.
Andy.
Well, hopefully you get question number 5 right because that was Roger.
Oh.
Hey,
Rog, you're sitting there you're sitting there looking like a tiny little spider is not going to mess you up, mate.
So wait, you're saying
I got a quarter-size scar on my ass to prove it. If you want to see it.
Yeah. I'm going to vote yes. Let's see it. Let's see it. Your camera does not show very clear what's going on anyway. I don't even know if we'd be able to detect much ass. All right. Let's move on to the final question. This is very important. If you get this right, this could be the difference between sleeping on Roger's couch or getting some cash or being a plain loser. All right.
Here we go.
So, do you watch any college football in Australia?
I do.
And you're aware of, do you know who the most favorite team around Cleveland is? Like, who do most
Buckeyes.
Yeah, the Buckeyes. Correct. So, this person has never been to the Horseshoe. Is it me or is it Rob?
Ooh. I'm going to say Rog.
It's me.
Oh.
Roger has been to the Horseshoe. He was there when he was 14. 14, right?
Yep.
I have had so many times I got invited to go, but it never worked out for one reason or another.
Rog tricked me.
Hey,
Yeah, that was
Andy.
kind of a dick move pouring out to Michigan.
Yeah, that's it. I see the yellow and I'm like, there's no way. There's no way.
All right. I say we give him one more question because I think you tricked him and I don't like it. And this way, we're going to settle it.
That's how the game's played.
Is Mick a true loser or can we redeem him? What do you say, Roger?
Repeat that for me.
All right. Okay. Should we give him one more chance?
Oh, absolutely. If you give them one more chance,
All right.
she'll be apples. Everything will be up and up, mate. She'll be apples. Give him another one.
Are you going to try? Are you going to trick him when I ask the question? I think you should just sit back neutral and don't say anything. Just
I'm all for gamesmanship. I'm all for it. So it doesn't bother me.
All right.
Okay.
Here we go. Number 6. This person spent a period of his life delivering newspapers. Was it me or was it Roger?
That's you, Andy, for sure.
That was Roger!
Oh, no way. I thought bowling for sure, newspaper route. That was 100% where I was going.
Well, I'm sorry, Mick, but you are a loser.
Oh, massive loser.
But you weren't a loser because you lost this game. You're a loser because you spent an hour and like 30 minutes on this stupid podcast that will be seen by nobody.
This has been so much fun. I love it.
Well, I hope it was because nobody's going to see it.
No, brilliant. I've loved it, guys. It's been fantastic. Couple of blokes on here having a few beers and a good laugh. That's what we want.
Absolutely. To that, I'm going to chug some more of this.
So I just want to know. I want to know where Roger's up to. How many beers he's had throughout this.
Oh, and Roger has to chug a beer.
Oh, I do, don't I?
You did commit to chug. Wait, hold on. Explain to the audience why you were going to chug a beer tonight.
Because I'm an idiot, and then I had like 8 more follows to get to 2,000, which I know I've got 8 more follows before the show tonight. But I had posted, and here's the thing. Nobody has contacted me for their free T-shirt from the T-shirts that I have hanging on the other side of the basement that's shrunk. I don't have a backer, Andy. I can't give away brand new fancy T-shirts. All I got is some old ones hanging over there in the basement. And number 2,000 hasn't contacted me. But I had said that I'm going to chug a beer. And I know this ain't 12 ounces, but kiss my ass because I'm already half fucking in the fucking bag. So
Wait. How much is in that beer, though? Like, is it?
I think this is a 8.5 ounce 1980 Browns mug is what I think this is.
Is it to the top, or did you pour it to the middle?
I'm sorry?
Yeah, did you pour that to the top of that 8.5 ounce beer, or is it?
I did. I'm letting it settle a little bit, and I'm going to get it back up to the top there. If Mick wants to entertain us while the foam's going down, if it was Foster's, there's no fucking foam in egg trash. I would have just drank that one.
Why don't you?
All right.
Hold on. Before you chug that, don't chug that yet.
I'm
Set
out.
that down. Let the foam settle. We're saying goodbye. I want to get one final question before we do this. You chug to to end the show. That'll be the end of the show. So hold on to that for a couple minutes. I just want to go around the room. We play in a couple hours, right? What time is it right now? 11:30 our time. It's 3 on Wednesday.
I was told there'd be no math involved.
Yeah, that's a good point. Although we did do math earlier. Point is, I want everyone to go around and give your MVP. Why are we going to win tomorrow? Who's going to be the MVP? And I'm going to start, Roger, with you.
Well, I want to go with Demetric Felton. He's got some snake hips. He's hard to get his hands. They can't get their hands on him. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go with Koromoa. He's going to have his first INT in the NFL, and he's going to keep playing like the defensive rookie of the year tomorrow. That's my hot take.
Roger taking the football acronym INT. Wow, that was a bold choice. Love it. I think he's going to be phenomenal tomorrow. I cannot wait. Mick.
Oh, I'm going to have to change my pick. I was going to say JOK as well.
As was I, actually. So.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go with McDowell.
McDowell. Oh, I love that.
Yep. I think I like the fact that the other week they were talking about the fact that all they have to do is push the pocket, and then they don't have to worry about getting sacks. They just got to push the pocket, and then the outside guys are going to come in and smoke the quarterback. So I think when you're starting a game, and I think we're only going to see McDowell get better and better and better throughout the season. And so I think if he can push the pocket and he's going to get a couple of sacks, it'll be unreal.
Pushing the pocket interior, that is where it all makes a difference. That's what separates a good defense from a great defense. I love it. I'm going to go with my man DPJ. He's gonna catch the game when he comes out. Roger, Michigan. Are you trying to throw Mick off the scent again? You son of a bitch.
So I'll be honest, Andy. I watch most Buckeyes games as well.
Nice.
So
that's
they're usually Sunday mornings. So I'll find a stream and jump on a Sunday morning and watch the Buckeyes. And I think one of my favorite accounts to follow on Twitter is the Ohio State Clock that keeps the amount of days since Michigan's beaten the Buckeyes.
Let's all drink to that. Oh, Roger, why aren't you drinking with us? Oh, are you doing your chug? Oh, no.
Oh, I'm ready. I thought we were just doing a sip.
All right, Roger. Chug that beer and let's bring us out of this nonsense.
I want to say this before I chug. Mick, it was a pleasure to meet you, man. Thank you for coming on. When I'm done with this, I might pass out. So I wanted to thank you before I chug this. I'm not a professional like Andy.
Early. Well, I'm running out the end of my weekend. You guys got another day.
It was a pleasure to meet you, man. And I look forward to the Victory Monday coffee Sunday night when you post your post.
100%.
It's my favorite day.
100%.
100%,
man. When we win, I'll be done.
I want to take you. I'm going to go. I'm going to chug. This is my first chug ever. I've never done a chug.
Hold on. Before you do that, Roger.
Oh, he's gone. There it is. Go.
Go.
I'm glad it's you, Rog, because I chug like Aaron Rodgers.
Well, it's usually you bring that up. Roger, how are you feeling?
Andy, I'm not doing too bad right now. It's feeling pretty good. But it's right here. So I'm sure my porch will be spinning tonight by the time I get out there.
You're still going to go out to your porch, even the fact that it's almost midnight. All right.
Repeat that. The beer's starting to take effect. Say that again.
I'm going to propose one thing to the three of us. If we have a victory Monday, which would be sort of like victory Tuesday, I guess, how about the three of us get online and just record a quick, 30-second video where the three of us chug celebratory beer to celebrate the fact that the Browns are 4-1 and beat one of the best teams in the league right now. Let's just commit to doing that.
Done.
Roger. I'm in.
All right. I'll make that happen, and I promise I'll send the link to both of you.
Well, that's the thing. On Tuesday for me, I'll be so I start my work week tomorrow. So I'll be flat out like a lizard drinking. But
you can tell us when it needs to happen, and whenever that is, Roger and I will be available at that time because
yes,
done.
Accommodate your schedule for us. We will accommodate our schedule for you to chug one beer, and it'll be an actual beer, Roger. It'll be a 12-ounce beer because you're a man. So let's just commit to that. Anyway, this has been literally our best episode yet. It went on for almost 100 minutes, which is just ridiculous. But I loved it, and I know you guys did too, and so did the other fan that has stuck with this entire time. Anyway, go Browns tomorrow. Let's kick some ass. We got to win this game. And anyway, yeah, Roger, give me anything else?
Go Browns.
Roger, give us some wisdom right now. You seem like you have some wisdom. Let's hear it.
Well, Andy, they just got to go out and play football tomorrow. You know what I mean? They can't go in there and just take it lightly. They got to go in and all three phases of the football game tomorrow. That's all the wisdom I got. I'm half in the tank now because of you guys. I was crook as Rookwood. Mate.
Love it. Completely get you, mate. I understand. We've all been there.
Before tonight's all over, it's a scrubhead turkey. It's
Oh my God. I kind of just want to leave the camera on him for the next hour to see what happens. But all right. Anyway, this has been phenomenal. Thank you, Mick, so much for sticking with all this nonsense. I am sorry.
Thanks for having me on, fellas. This has been fantastic. Thanks for having me on. I love just getting on and chatting Brown. So, regardless of who's on, who's listening, mate, I'd be happy to even just jump on a Zoom every now and then and just have a chat.
You basically just did that. That's what this was.
No, I love it. It's fantastic. It's so nice to be able to sit down and chat with you guys, have a laugh, have a couple of beers. What is it? 1, 2. I've lost count. So I've had a great time. This is fantastic.
Hey, Vic, I'll tell you, my words of wisdom is
love it.
I've been walking around all week on construction sites telling everybody that I'm going to be talking to a time traveler, and he's going to be on Sunday, and I'm still on Saturday. And
that's it.
And they would just look at me like I have 3 fucking heads.
The almanac is real. The almanac is real.
I was so excited. I've been reading about Australia. I appreciate you coming on. It was a big thrill for me, and it was an honor to meet you tonight. The Browns back are 125 members. watching Browns football at 4 a.m. in the morning, that's diehard, man.
It's die hard.
But it's so nice to talk to you guys. Like, you guys are awesome. So, fantastic to meet you guys and jump on and have a chat.
It's right down the fucking street for us, Mick. It ain't no big deal. For you, you got to get up at 4 o'clock in the fucking morning. They're like dairy barns, the fucking Browns. They're right here. For you, you got to work for it. We don't have to work for it. We're spoiled. Thank you.
Oh, it's the best. It's the best.
All right, I'm going to end this. Jeez, I can't even talk. Let's just let this be what it was, and tomorrow we will talk about how to chug our victory beers.
Yes.
Go Browns!
Go Browns! Victory Monday.
Roger.
Go Browns!
Text me in the morning to let me know you are okay, because I'm legitimately worried about you.